Here's your First Warn Weather forecast first, sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
Well, we are trading in our rain showers for snow showers here throughout the rest of this evening. Scattered snow showers will continue. A few heavier bursts will be possible, which have dropped visibility from time to time, and that'll be our biggest concern with any of those snow showers as they move through. Already starting to see some accumulations on some grassy surfaces. I mentioned the drop in visibility. You can see where we've got a little more steady snow coming down. Notice from Monroe out to Galena, 8-mile visibility now in Rockford and 6 currently in Janesville. Temperatures have also fallen. It's cold out there, especially when you look at our wind chills in the teens in some spots and low 20s as those temperatures are now dropping into the low 30s. This is the first of 2 rounds of snow that move in over the next 24 hours, timing out the next round in the First Warn forecast a little later.
Right now at 5, a Rockford abortion clinic opens with some controversy. Protests outside of Midwest Reproductive Health.
Plus, a state line basketball coach fired while he's being investigated by police, charged with fleeing the scene of a fatal crash.
And a new Rockford nursing program hopes to address staffing shortages. Students who've already graduated now have the ability to change careers.
Live from WTVO 17. This is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Wendell Edwards, and we thank you for being here.
A new Rockford abortion clinic opens its doors with some controversy.
Members of the Rockford Family Initiative protested and held a prayer rally outside Midwest Reproductive Health this morning. Midwest Reproductive Health is the second abortion clinic to open here in Rockford. It's near the intersection of Alpine and Marais Drive. The clinic also gives access to counseling and STI treatment. The Rockford Family Initiative says, though, there are other resources available for pregnant women outside of abortion.
Let mothers know that there are real resources that will help them, not only while they're pregnant and giving birth, but for months and years after they've given birth to their child. So the challenges we all have with jobs and paying the bills and all that, there is a ton of community support for moms and mothers of young children in need. So no woman has to feel she doesn't have a choice.
The clinic argues reproductive services are essential due to abortion laws in neighboring states.
Information received from a FOIA request from Eyewitness News reveals an Auburn High School basketball coach has been fired while under investigation for a fatal DUI crash. 34-year-old Julian Bonner was fired by the Rockford School Board last night. On February 5th, police responded after an SUV hit and killed 53-year-old Melissa Bond on Auburn Street. The driver fled the scene. Security footage and debris from the accident allowed police to trace the SUV to Bonner. He told police he believed he'd hit a pothole or a dog. Bonner also tested positive for THC, which he says he smoked after the accident. An arraignment hearing is scheduled for next month. Bonner faces charges of aggravated DUI causing death and failure to report a fatal crash. With nursing shortages continuing to be an issue across the country, one college in Rockford's hoping to help.
Eyewitness News reporter Blake Dietz stopped at the University of Illinois College of Medicine in Rockford today. Blake, this new program creates a new path for those looking to get into nursing.
Yeah, a new path, Wendell, Mimi, especially for those who believe they're too old for a career change. UIC Rockford leaders tell me the new Masters of Nursing program is about making nursing as accessible as possible. That's a win for everybody. The program will allow anyone with a bachelor's degree in any field to earn a Master's of Science in Nursing. The program has attracted students in their second or third career or younger students who found their major isn't for them. UIC Rockford's director says expanding the program to Rockford is paramount for bringing better health care to rural areas.
A lot of people don't want to work in the rural areas. The need is greater. The population tends to have higher morbidity. We're excited about this program coming here to Rockford because it's an opportunity for our students to, do their clinical rotations in these local hospitals.
Now I'll have more on how this program is aiming to remedy the nursing shortage coming up in the full story at 6. Mimi.
All right, thanks, Blake. After a pause in October, Rockford Flyers will be able to head to Nashville and Los Angeles again next summer. Allegiant announced that flights to the 2 destinations will resume at the Rockford Airport in late May. Both flights will occur twice a week. Allegiant also offered the routes last summer. The airport says due to high demand, they are excited to continue offering the popular destinations. Starting in January, the airline will also offer flights to several international locations, including Cancun and Costa Rica. The first snowfall of the year is making its way through the state line.
What's the song? Let It Snow.
Yes.
Let's head back over to Chief Meteorologist Candace King. Candace has put me in a holiday mood. How much snow could we get?
I was just going to say, you can continue singing over there, right? Yeah, we've got some snow coming down. Started off with a little drizzle and light rain in some spots, but was quick to transition over to those scattered snow showers. Now, our temperatures earlier today were in the 40s, but they have quickly dropped, and you can see those numbers falling now through the low 30s. And those snow showers, the wind-whipped snow showers, moving in from the west and northwest. At times, we have had some heavier bursts of snow, which has really dropped that visibility down. And as the sun has set now, you can still see a little bit here on the grassy surface on our SkyTrack camera out in Freeport, some minor accumulations. And that will be something that can be expected for the remainder of this evening. And while most of this stays on grassy surfaces, colder surfaces could actually experience some slick conditions, so bridges and overpasses. So if you're going out here later this evening, just keep that in mind. It'll be all snow showers as we go through the night tonight and into tomorrow morning as another round of snow moves in before transitioning over to rain showers by the time we get into the afternoon. So here are some of those heavier bursts of snow working through for this evening. Biggest impact, a reduction in visibility, but another burst of some heavy wet snow coming just after that early morning commute, guys. Tomorrow we'll look at the timing and how much we can overall expect as far as accumulations coming up in the first WARN forecast a little later.
All right, thanks, Candace. Thanksgiving is just over a week away, but for some, the feast has already begun. Local organizations distributed holiday meal boxes at a community event this morning. The giveaway was hosted by the Park Church on Concord Avenue. They partnered with Women and Wealth and several other community organizations. The inaugural event gave away 100 meals to an area that organizers say greatly needs them.
This is our first event. West side of Rockford has a reputation of being a food desert. And so this is a way we can spread love and joy back to the community during this holiday season.
So we gave out turkeys in addition to side items for Thanksgiving dinners. And we had 100 people to come out.
The church says it's already planning for events to further assist the community next year.
The YMCA Retired Men's Club unloads trees in preparation of its yearly fundraiser. Christmas trees were dropped off this morning in the open lot just west of Gray's Food Store. That's at the intersection of North Alpine and Highcrest Road. Funds from the sale of these trees and Christmas wreaths will go towards services at the YMCA and to help purchase supplies and make programs more affordable.
It's more than just purchasing a Christmas tree and a wreath at this lot, and we are grateful for the community that has over the years purchased their Christmas tree or their wreaths from this lot. It's a special place and provides tremendous support to the YMCA.
The sales will begin Saturday and won't stop until all the trees are sold. They're open every day of the week starting at 11, but they will be closed Thanksgiving.
After the break, many on Capitol Hill are pushing President Biden to lessen the sentences of nonviolent inmates.
The fight for clemency with the president leaving office in less than 2 months.
And coming up tonight at 6, community discussion on replacing lead water pipes. The Region 1 Planning Council deciding the best options for homeowners.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Mimi Murphy, Wendell Edwards, Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Advocates and lawmakers are pushing for President Biden to lessen the sentences of thousands of inmates convicted of federal drug offenses.
Raquel Martin has the latest from our nation's capital.
There are 61 days remaining in your presidency, and the time to act is now.
Democrats are calling on President Joe Biden to shorten the sentences of thousands of inmates serving time for nonviolent drug offenses.
How does he not see the humanitarian or the dignity and people who have been incarcerated for many years, elders.
Neil Berry served 9 years after being wrongly convicted for attempted robbery in 1998.
I had a clean record, never been in prison in my life, but I was in the war on drugs in 1988. They were warehousing. There's a lot of us who could tell the same story.
In 1994, then Senator Biden championed the 1994 crime bill, which increased mandatory minimum sentencing for some drug offenses.
You have the moral obligation to do everything within your power to right the wrong.
In 2018, Congress did attempt to rectify the law, passing the First Step Act, which slashed mandatory sentencing guidelines for nonviolent drug offenses. The law, signed by former President Donald Trump, however, did not affect those already convicted for drug offenses, like marijuana possession.
There are still over 3,000 prisoners in federal prison for cannabis crimes, for actions that are now legal in 24 states.
The White House says the president already granted 20 pardons and 122 commutations, and, quote, will continue to elevate clemency petitions in a thoughtful and deliberative manner. In Washington, Raquel Martin.
Here in the state line, the first snowfall comes with colder temperatures. Right now, it's only in the mid-30s.
Maybe it's feeling like a holiday season to you, too. Candace King will tell us what we can expect with this snow and your weather for the rest of the week. Her forecast is next.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, we will continue to see a few quick bursts of snow come through for the rest of this evening as well as into the overnight. Biggest impact will be reduced visibility and some minor accumulations. We've already had some on some grassy surfaces, colder road surfaces, elevated surfaces, bridges, overpasses. Those may become slick. So just slow down if you've got any plans to be out here later this evening or very early tomorrow. Now going into tomorrow, we will see some snow. This will be more of a heavy wet snow for a couple hour period that'll be whipped around in the wind. Most of this is coming in after about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Reduced visibility, one thing we have to be mindful of, but some of those heavier snowfall rates could actually cause some of that snow excuse me, to accumulate on some of the roadways. So that could cause some slick conditions, especially as we go mid to late morning before transitioning over to a few rain showers once we get into the afternoon. Not too much of a problem here on our Mercial SkyTrack camera, but from time to time with those heavier bursts of snow, we have had the reduced visibility, which at times has dropped down to about 1 mile to 2 miles in some spots. Now we can see those snow showers working in, and these are going to continue, not scattered, not widespread, but more so scattered in some locations. And you see a few pockets of some heavier snow now setting up just from the west and southwest of Savannah right down through Whiteside County, and then a few heavier bursts as we get a little further there off to the east. Temperatures have been dropping as well. Those numbers started off in the 40s here earlier today, but are now dropping into the 30s and will eventually fall into the 20s as we go through the night. So as we go through the night with Futurecast, we can see those bursts of snow coming in. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, there are going to be some scattered snow flurries, but an area of low pressure wrapping in over Lake Michigan and working down Lake Michigan will allow another kind of band of snow to move in. This looks to occur after about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning and will last through 9, 10, 11 o'clock. Watch what happens. We've got that snow that comes in, and this is where the problem may come in. As we see the heavier snow move through, you've got that reduced visibility. It'll be whipping around in the wind, so that's where we could get some accumulations with that. You get further east there, I'd say west, of Monroe, Freeport, and Sterling, you might not see quite as much. You get further to the east and you might get into a little more of that heavier snowfall. As temperatures warm through the afternoon, this will then transition with a mix of rain before then changing over to all rain going into the afternoon. Temperatures will actually warm Thursday into Friday, but will maintain a breezy and cloudy sky going into Friday afternoon before things clear out just a bit once we get into Friday night. Now let's talk some totals. Most of this will come down as far as what comes down. What we actually see on the ground may be a little less, but I'm thinking here along and east of I-39 about 1 to 2 inches. You get further west of there, you're looking at a trace up to about an inch or so of snowfall totals. And again, the highest impacts are looking to occur once we get into the mid-morning hours tomorrow until about noon before that transition guys over to a little more rain snow mix, and then temperatures will be dropping as we get into next week.
Candace, thank you.
Scott's in next for sports.
We'll be right back.
Now sports with Sports Director Scott Lever.
A lot has gone wrong for the Bears, but the upside to their loss to the Packers last week for them is Caleb Williams looked more comfortable at quarterback again for the first time in a few weeks. He led a couple touchdown drives, and he was more decisive at getting rid of the football quickly. And he didn't throw an interception. In fact, he's now thrown 146 straight passes without an interception. That's the longest stretch by Bears QB since Brian Hoyer's streak in 2016. Now Williams says he and the offense have to keep building off of last week.
I think the decisiveness, I think all of that came from, our meetings and how we're going to do things. I think it came from being able to get play calls in faster and being able to get up there and not feel like you're rushed or not feel like, you need to hurry up and get the ball snapped.
And the problem for Williams this Sunday is he'll be facing a Vikings defense that's one of the best in the NFL. The Cubs made a move to shore up their weak bullpen. They got Eli Morgan in a trade with the Guardians. He's been one of the top relief pitchers in the American League in recent seasons. This past season, he had a 1.93 ERA, and he held right-handed batters to a 167 batting average. In the trade, the Cubs gave up 20-year-old power-hitting prospect Alfonso Rosario. He hit 16 home runs last season in Class A ball. Well, the Bulls face the Bucks tonight in Milwaukee. The Bulls will be looking for their second straight win. The 3-0 Fighting Illini will have their toughest game by far so far tonight. They're on the road facing 8th-ranked Alabama. Well, you were looking at a future Wisconsin Badger. Rockford Christian standout swimmer Brooke Corrigan signed a national letter of intent with Wisconsin today. She's the top individual swimmer in our area. Last weekend at the state swim meet, she finished second in the 100 breaststroke, and she was fourth in the 100 freestyle. Her times were good enough to make her a high school All-American in both events. Here's why she'll head to Madison.
It really just checked all the boxes overall. I mean, I just felt such a great connection with the team and the coaches, and just the overall school environment was great. And it's definitely a big perk being close to home and, having my support system nearby.
How long have you wanted to compete at the college level?
Ever since I was little. I just always dreamed of going to a big school.
Corrigan says she hopes to get into the medical field. That'll be her focus at Wisconsin, along with swimming, of course. At Sports, we'll be right back.
It's a little messy out there with some of the snow showers coming down, and those scattered snow showers will continue throughout the remainder of the evening and overnight. Most of the accumulations will occur on grassy surfaces, but our biggest impacts may be some slick conditions, along with visibility falling a bit as we get a few heavier bursts of snow to come through. Scattered flurries will continue into early tomorrow before another band of snow moves in. This will come in after about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Could be a heavy wet snow for a couple-hour period, so be careful because tomorrow morning could be a little slick with those snow showers.
Thank you, Candace.
And thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 6.